Jessica Sunshine Lee, and let's see if we can get her into the show here.
There she is.
There she is. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
Hey.
How are y'all doing?
Hello.
Good morning. I was saying here. Let me put you up here. There we go.
There
we
she
go.
is.
There you are. Can you hear us? Okay.
I can hear you great.
Okay, great. All right, so that song, "Hold a Hurricane," is one of my favorite songs that you do.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that.
I didn't know if we've ever had that conversation, but I really love the rhythm of that of the drums in that song, and of course it goes together really nice. I consider songs sometimes like traveling songs. That's a good traveling song. You're just rolling down the highway, put that on repeat, and just listen to that. It's a good song. I really love it.
Thank you. It gets me moving. I wrote it with my buddy Bill DeLuigi, and I was just talking about how it's tough to pin me down, and especially for new guys that I've dated along the way. It's always kind of the same thing. They want to pin you down. They want to stop you from doing what you're doing, and it's like really trying to stop a moving freight train and hold a hurricane, because I'm always on the go and I'm always touring, and being in a relationship is tough with long distance, but it's interesting when they fall in love with you for your passion and for your music, and then they want to change you the second they get you.
Yes.
So
I've
struggled with that quite a bit, and I think that's probably why I got 10 albums of breakup songs.
Well, it's true. I mean, if anybody has ever been, I remember one time in Key West, back when the old car, the one that eventually gave up on you, and you had to get while you're getting something new when you're on tour, you had to rush down, and you had to go somewhere else, and you locked your keys in the car and all this other stuff. I mean, so you really are like a hurricane coming in hot, no matter where you are.
I blame John Farrell for that, because he was trying to help me out. But he locked the key. Instead of rolling up the window, he hit lock while the car was running on Duval Street.
Yes.
In the rain.
In the rain. I remember that night like it was yesterday. It was a few years ago, but it was that old car, man. It finally gave up on you, but it gave you all she got, Captain. I got to tell you.
I'm telling you, 320,000 miles later, I squeezed the orange out of that juice.
Well, we got Chick Fest coming up January the 8th, I believe, in Key West, right?
Yeah.
And so this is kind of cool. This is something you started a few years ago, and it's kind of grown. So tell everybody a little bit about it.
So I wanted to give females a platform to be able to share their music, and I think a lot of times they fall through the cracks on the radio in Nashville especially, and I feel like the boys club, and I wanted to start a girls club and just bring talented females down to Key West. And so I've got a lot of great sponsors like Restless Native Charters and Ivy Hydration Station and Casa Brown that have made it possible, and I've got there'll be 8 female singer-songwriters again this year. And what we do is in the mornings like a writer's retreat, so we write songs together and bond, network, collaborate, gossip, have lots of good time together, bonding, and then kind of building this females club to be able to share music and have a safe zone. And for me, it's become like empowering, inspiring, and giving women that outlet to be able to share their music. And then at night, we do showcases at the Sunset Pier and Soak Tuna.
Well, that's cool. What a thing, and it is interesting that because we've had a lot of artists that come through here, Kirsty Krause and some of and they talk to us about when they come here to the studio, which we still need to get you here one of these days. But they come over here and they talk about how tough it is to break through that wall of kind of like a guy thing, you say.
Yeah, it is a boys club, but I feel like if you're a strong female and you've got, the key is having great songs. And I love being able to collaborate with other artists. And being in Nashville, it is such a collaborative town. And so sometimes it is breaking through that wall. But I think that the cream does rise to the top. And so when people hear great songs, then they are more willing to write with you. And that's the key. And so being first and foremost a writer's retreat, I want to collaborate and create space and to kind of recharge each other's batteries and also inspire people to write. better songs, and it does get heard. I think that's what gets you noticed in Nashville, especially a town full of so many great singers, so many great musicians. But the song is the champion. And so that's why I focus more on the writer's retreat and then sharing great songs at night and the stories behind the songs and being able to kind of stop people dead in their tracks and have fun songs like Catamaran and Mojitos, and people sing along, and it definitely wins the crowd over. And especially here in Key West, it's such a fun audience anyway.
Yeah. I was watching you on Coastal Confessions Friday night, and you were talking about the background behind Mojito that everybody loves. And I had no idea that the people that were involved with that one that was in the studio with you, that was kind of cool.
It was a great time, and just being able to go take it back to Nashville and turn it into something that like brought me in kind of the trop rock world was really cool too, because that was just a random night in my life and another diary entry for me, and it just kind of like completely spiraled into something more beautiful than I could have understood. And who knew that just a drink, because I really wasn't like a super Jimmy Buffett fan before that, and it's interesting how that kind of brought me into this world, and it ended up being a perfect storm. So I'm really grateful for it.
Yeah, and you have such a wide variety of music. I mean, everybody, I used to listen to you in Key West when you were just playing, and this was way before you stumbled across. I like to say the trop rock world stumbled across you. You were already there, okay? And that's what I loved about Key West. I would go around and listen to other. You're always looking for that next artist or that next song or that next story, if you will. And so I listened to you way before that got involved when I was in Key West. But it is interesting how everything intertwines and people start to notice you. But you can do a country album like nothing. You can do trop rock, and you can have religious songs. You got a lot of. I know you're a Georgia girl at heart. Which, by the way, how in the hell did Alabama beat Georgia? What the hell?
It was a rough one, man. I'm so crying.
Sorry, roll tide.
Yeah, it's.
Oh, it hurts my heart.
I know. You listen. I have to live with her. Okay.
I was the only one in a whole sea of Georgia fans here that night, and I was like. Whoops.
It was brutal. And I'm staying at a house with Alabama fans, so it killed me. I had to eat her the whole time.
Well, I'm a Tennessee fan. Mike Nash and I are Tennessee fans, but listen.
But you were rooting for Georgia that night.
Yeah, so. I was rooting for Georgia. Nobody wants Alabama to win. My God,
I was all in for Georgia that night.
Oh my God, yeah, he was.
Everybody was.
He was a closet Alabama fan. It was a whole other thing. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
All I got to say is the playoffs. Now I'm in a dilemma because I'm an Ohio State fan.
Right.
I can't root for the team up north, and I can't root for Alabama. So it's one of those games of
Michigan.
I have nobody to root for.
Well, Georgia got screwed. How does Alabama make it into that?
You be on my team.
Okay, we can go down there.
Florida State got screwed.
They're not going to make.
Go ahead.
Right, we're going off the railroad track.
Yeah.
So.
Go Michigan.
Anyway,
back to Erica.
Sunshine Lee, who is joining us.
Go Dogs.
Anyway, but what I was saying was, in your country, and it's okay. It's okay. You don't have to. There's no way anybody, talk about all these breakup songs, is going to try to fit you in a mold. I know that for a fact. You're going to do what you are good at doing and be who you are. And if that's a string of country albums or a song about a beach or whatever, that's who you are. And I've always admired you for that.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you get me, Tiki Man, because so many people, I think in Nashville, just want to stick you in a box. And I'm like, for me, my life has always been as much as I can fit into it. And I love being in the country. I love being in the city. I played basketball growing up and softball, and everybody always tried to make me choose. And I said no. And when I went to college, they said you can only pick one, and I played both. And so I guess I've just always been so stubborn that if you tell me I can't do something, I'm going to prove you wrong.
Yeah, that's cool. And I believe that about you. And you don't know this, but we've had, like I said earlier, a lot of up and coming, new they B-Dog and Lou have Tropical Country on Wednesday nights, which you need to get on their show sometime or another. But they've done really good about having artists drive over from Nashville. It's not that far, about 2 hours depending on traffic, and they come over here. And I always ask them, do you know Erica Sunshine Lee? Because I know how many people, because they've told me, that you have helped in the background or gave advice to or whatever. And that means a lot to a lot of people. I don't think you realize how many people you've touched in that way.
I'm very grateful that God's blessed me with a fun life to be able to travel and meet so many people. And I know that there's a lot of people that probably don't realize how much they helped me along the way. Mentors like Wayne Mills, who's no longer with us. And my first band, I was with John Lawton. And when I got to Nashville, songwriters that took me under their wing, Randy Barber, and people that brought me in as a nobody. And I was knocking on the doors on Music Row saying, let me in. And they did. And it was really cool because you just really have to bust the doors down. I don't think people understand. Nobody's sitting there waiting on you to come into their office. You got to go into theirs. And so going out at night, I was always handing out my card, always handing out my CD. I remember one of my first showcases in Nashville, Kent Wells, who's Dolly Parton's producer, was in the audience. And I sold him a CD, and my cousin, or my buddy Eric Lee Bedingfield, he said, do you know who that is? He's like, most people are dying to give him a CD. You just made him pay $12 for it. I said, well, damn, he can afford it. He's making it.
That's right.
So I guess I've just had that mentality, like, it's worth it. You should listen to my music, too. Mm-hmm. And so I knew that people responded in the audiences. And so if I can reach people that don't know me from Adam in the audience, then I figured they should listen to it in Nashville on the radio. And, of course, he got his money back because he produced my 5th album, and that was a lot more than $12.
Yeah. Well, I was listening to an interview about with Lainey Wilson, right? And she was talking, everybody talks about her butt and all this stuff, right? And she's like, listen, this butt's been walking all over Nashville for 15 years, okay, and nobody paid attention to it then, but it got me to thinking, is like, that's how it happens. Just one day, you get an opportunity to be in a Yellowstone series or whatever, and all of a sudden people are like, well, where have you been? I've been right here doing what I've been doing.
Overnight success for 15 years, exactly.
Yeah, it's crazy, but...
Because I played a show with her. She was at Whiskey Jam probably 6 or 7 years ago, and she was fantastic then, and she was wearing her bell-bottoms then, and I was wearing bell-bottoms too, and it's funny because people do think like, for 15 years I sounded just like XYZ. It was first it was Miranda, and then it was this person, then it was that person, and then it was just now, of course, it's Lane, because they only associate you with the people that they're listening to or that they know on the radio, and it's so funny how all of a sudden I sound like 20 different people, but it's because you're new to them and they want to put you and associate you with who they know and who are familiar with, instead of just going, oh, wait, this is something new, this is something different.
Well, you're always Erica Sunshine Lee to us, and you're a cut above. And I did I hear right that you've got another children's book coming out?
I do. I actually just got the illustrations back yesterday. It's like a bedtime lullaby.
Yeah,
that's wonderful.
It's a little bedtime story.
Well, I tell you, I commend you for that, because my first attempt to writing a children's book I wrote while I was down in Key West this year. And it's about it's Chirpy's soaring journey called Learning Fly. It's just a simple little story about a bird that was afraid to fly, and it came to me in the Key West Cemetery. So, but you inspired me the last time we talked, because your books are on TikiManRadio.com under Tiki Bar Publishing, and the Bully book. What's it called?
Billy the Bully and Butterfly.
And Butterfly. That's right. And what's the new one coming out?
It's going to be called While You Sleep.
While You Sleep. All right.
And it's basically talking about all the adventures, so it gets kids excited to go to sleep instead of scared to go to sleep, or, they want to stay up and party. And when they realize how much fun they can have while they're asleep, might make them want to go to bed earlier.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Well, congratulations on that. But writing a children's book is different, man. It's you've got to put it in a certain way. And I kind of shot for like a 6. I want the mom or dad or whoever that is reading to their child every night. That is so important to read to kids. It just opens up their imagination. So I'm kind of looking at that, probably 6-year-old, 5-year-old, somewhere around in there. But you did inspire me to attempt to do that. So
I didn't know that. That's awesome. Congratulations. I can't wait to read it. And I agree with you. You're totally right. That moment and that special time. I think a lot of times parents are so overwhelmed and busy these days that it's a lost art of sitting around the dinner table and having those conversations and being able to have the bedtime story. Like I had bedtime prayers, and my mama taught me to read when I was probably 3 years old. I was already reading chapter books when I got into kindergarten. I skipped kindergarten because my mama took the time to sit down, and that is so special. And probably the reason that I love to read and then became a writer is due to her efforts and time that she spent one-on-one. And a lot of parents don't make the time or get the time. And I think that's so valuable for kids to be able to not only spend that time bonding, but to soak in language and stories and their imagination and the creativity is really important.
Yeah.
yeah, I for anybody out there that's a new mom or a new dad or a new family or anything along those lines, read to your kids. Open their minds. It definitely will make them see the world in a different place if they can get that kind of exposure through their parents.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's a huge impact.
All right. So back to Chick Fest. That's our big thing. We wanted to get the word out. January the 8th. And you said Smoking Tuna, I think?
The 8th through the 11th is at the Sunset Pier. The 9th through the 14th at Smoking Tuna nightly shows at 5.
Oh, okay.
So the kickoff is only at the Smoking Tuna, so it's the 8th through 11th, and we'll be doing shows nightly and have alternating, so the artists will be going back and forth in different schedules. So it'll be at ericaSunshineLee.com where I am, and I've got the whole breakdown of the artist. I'm trying to update KeyWestChickFest.com, so bear with me, but definitely Instagram. A lot of people are posting and looking there. So I'm doing also one-on-one interviews with each artist every week. So they're on my YouTube channel as well to get to know the artist before they come and perform.
And how does is there a selection process for this, or how does this work? There
has been. 2 of the artists are returning from last year. Caitlin Rushing has been here all 3 years. Jesse Pugh will be coming back, and the other artists are new. And so there's a submission process. And some people have contacted and reached out to me, and we might have been full last year, and I said contact this year. And so it's been tough because you got so many talented artists that want to be a part of it, and it's too overwhelming to have more than 8 for me right now. I'm like, 8 girls in one house for a week. As you know.
I know. We had Brooke Graham at the Tiki House our second year, and she had 50 of her female friends fly in from Texas, and they were everywhere.
They were so fun.
And as she left in the crowd of the women, I was like, well, good luck. Hope to see you again,
It can be a lot. I mean, just having 8 girls get ready for a show, especially when you got country divas, because I can pull it together pretty quick and slap it together in 5 minutes if I have to.
Yeah.
But some of them don't take that long.
Well,
so I know that they end up looking real pretty, but I'm like, y'all, we got to go. You better wrap up that makeup, that hair job. Let's roll.
Yeah, if you go to row with you, they need to have their act together. That's for sure. So it's probably good. Yeah, it's probably good. You got a couple of them that's already done it before because they can help you out. Now they're your assistants, right? Listen,
exactly.
This is how this is going to work.
Yeah. She's going to be. I told her this year her job is to keep me sane, and so this year she's going to kind of help me co-host, and so she'll be because I've tried to be at both places at once, and I've figured out that I'm absolutely not that talented to be 2 places at once as much as I try. So I was running back and forth to start one show and then running to the next and starting it. And I mean, Smoking Tuna and Sunset Pier are not far from each other, but running 4 blocks when you're trying to look cute is tough.
Well, the Sunset Pier has kind of been your thing. I mean, it's become your thing over the last 2 or 3 years or however many years it's been now. But
more than that.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. So that's kind of it. And also, it seems like now that it's you're slipping into your Key West time, right? So you go down and you're there for what, 2 or 3 months this time of year?
4 months. The last couple of years. I'm doing November through March 3rd, and it's just been nice the past 3 years to winter down here. I'm getting longer and longer. So it started out with a month, and then now it's 4. And then I'll probably be back in May again for probably my 13th or whatever Songwriters Festival.
Right.
So that's what got me down here is to be in my Songwriters Festival in May. And then I figured out that I really like wintering down here since COVID. I couldn't go internationally because I used to try to winter in Australia and New Zealand. But that's become a little bit more difficult since the pandemic. So I switched it to Key West.
There you go. Well, I saw that you will be leaving Key West to go to the Lone Star Luau.
Exactly.
And people in Texas know how to party. We had Jonas Lawrence Band playing our summer party here this past July, and man, not only did they put on a hell of a show, but they brought me all kinds of beer from Texas, barbecue sauce, and all kinds of stuff. It was fantastic.
They were crazy. That was awesome.
It was awesome, but
There's so much fun, and Tank and Jonas have played with me before and backed me at the Beach Fashion St. Augustine, and they're fantastic musicians, but they're just so nice, down-to-earth people, and I appreciate that so much, because being in Nashville, you meet so many talented musicians that it's almost becomes the dime a dozen. You expect them to be the best guitarist and the songwriter, but then they can be super jerks, and some of them are really arrogant, and you've got the most down-to-earth, humble people, and Jonas Lawrence deserved every award that band won this year. I'm so happy for them, because they've been busting it, and they're just great people. They're family guys. They're fun. They're down-to-earth. They're super genuine, and could not be more awesome people.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think he's fantastic, and we really enjoyed having him here. And you're right. It was about time that him and the band was recognized for what they did. And I love the fact that they got that award for the video, because we were in the video.
That's right.
Well, I hated it because I lost.
That's right. You did have a great video too. But. Listen, it is what it is. You've got a whole string of them now. We got to let somebody else in every once in a while. But
exactly, no, they did a great job. And then somebody told me, well, it's because they had fans in their video. I said, I had fans in my video. But we had a great time, and it was interesting because we were filming during COVID. There were some people still wearing masks, and I was like, well, that dates that video.
Yeah, it does. It's funny how we look at it now, when you see things pop up like that. But, we all lived through it, and somehow or another came out better on the other end. But the Texas thing, we belong to the Texas Pickers Association down in Texas. So we get a steady string of music that comes in from time to time from artists all over Texas. And, not all of them are trying to be like George Strait either. There's a diverse amount of music now in Texas that people don't realize.
Right. And Red Dirt's so popular now, and I love being able to collaborate and write. Like you said, I just have so many different sides of my music because I'm ADD, and so I get bored and I have to write something different. But I just love that they have the real country, the roots country, the Americana, the Red Dirt, the gritty, the rock kind of side, the edge, and then there's the tropical. I mean, bring me 2 pina coladas, and you got Jonas Lawrence Band that's like rocking and beachy and fun and edgy, and they bring all of it together in a perfect storm.
Well, there you go. Well, all right. So the Chick Fest, the dates are again what time?
January 8th through 14th is the full festival, and 8th through 11th at the Sunset Pier nightly at 5, and 9th through the 14th at the Smoke and Tuna. I'll be running back and forth. So where I will be is kind of back and forth with both, but I've also got my schedule at ericaSunshineLee.com if you want to see where I am, and I'll be splitting it up and mixing up the lineups every night. But it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be a pretty cool lineup and mix of talent this year. We got Tara Lynn Pfister, Raylan Gale from Texas, Shantea from Canada, our first international artist.
Nice.
Jonelle Carter is an inspirational speaker, author, as well as singer-songwriter, and then Jesse Pugh and Caitlin Rushing and myself.
Awesome. Well, we played your Christmas song earlier, which I understand that Aaron has lost the original for, right? Aaron Schurz?
He did. Aaron, you're to blame. But, we had a great time writing it. He did a great job producing it. It is available on my website, ericaSunshineLee.com. If you want to get the MP3, I just have not gotten a chance to upload it because I don't think you can send it without a WAV file. Right. And, Aaron's computer pooped out and lost the WAV file. So we'll have to re-record it sometime, or I think I'll just maybe leave it the way it is and have people get it as an MP3, and it's kind of more an exclusive little nugget they can get on my website.
Well, maybe if they buy the whole CD, right? Maybe it's a hidden track, in there. Something
I like that.
Yeah, I like that. All right, well, cool. Erica Sunshine Lee, thank you so much for being here this morning. And I'm not going to bother telling you to just keep doing what you're doing because I know you will. I know you'll keep being true to you. So, but thanks for taking the time.
And wanted to drop the thank you to everybody who helped donate and make my crowdfunder, because my new album's going to be coming out early next year, and it's called Country and Western. Speaking of all country and Western music, so we're not going to have the beachy songs on this one, but stay tuned, because I think there's going to be one down the line coming through. So thank you everybody for your support and people that made this possible, because it would not have been done without y'all.
Yeah. Well, before we do let you go, I was going to mention the, when Jen Shin, and by the way, Jen Shin's coming back here after the first of the year. She's coming back to the radio, so you can reach out to her. But at the time when we had Colleton Creek as one of the sponsors, you were talking about maybe taking the Chick Fest there. And I kept thinking, that is a great place to just sit around and write. But I mean, I don't know if it was a good fit for you or not, but
we'd love to make it possible if we can make. I've got to get time in the schedule to even slip up there. But speaking of a leak, I have not announced yet. I'll be playing at the Feeding Frenzy in North Carolina at Emerald Isles Parrot Head Club event late April, and Jonas Lawrence Band will also be there.
Oh, fantastic!
There you go.
Sounds fun.
North Carolina party on the coast with some of the best parrot heads you've ever met. The Emerald Isle Club has it going on, and they are some amazing people, and it's not far from Collington Creek Inn, so you can double it up. You can stay there and then come down to the Feeding Frenzy and party late April.
That's right.
Well, that's
she has a beautiful song about Colleton Creek that you wrote. I believe, was it you and your mom went there?
That's right.
Yeah.
I had a great memory.
Yeah, I believe that. And you guys just kind of took a road trip, and that's where you ended up at. And it's such a beautiful place up there. And you're right. If you're going up there, you're not that far from Colleton Creek, and it's nice to see that whole area start to expand more with the music scene.
I think it's just a peaceful place. It's a beautiful getaway, and it's like a little snippet of our history. And I think for me, it feels very nostalgic, like you're in a movie when you're up there. The sand dunes and the really old, pretty beach houses, and just some of the restaurants that's not chains. It's got really nice mom and pop stops that are still there, and you can go enjoy some really good Southern food.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
That's why I love the Carolina coast. That's always my favorite.
Well, there you go.
Barbecue. Hush puppies, man. You can't beat them, because Key West don't do hush puppies.
No, they do not. And that's another thing. Being from Georgia, being a small town in Georgia, barbecue in the South. It's usually pork and and the sauce and all this stuff. You go down to Texas, it's all beef, and they get pissed off at you if you put sauce on it. So
yeah.
But barbecue in the South is that's how I like it.
Holy Grail.
All right, we're gonna let you fly, and keep doing what you're doing. I know you will, and good luck with Chick Fest, and we'll share everything out there about it as you put it out on social media. And when that new album comes out, reach out to B-Dog and Lou. He's waving his hand there, because they'll want to have you on Tropical Country, since it's a country album. Okay.
All right,
Absolutely.
sounds good. And there's a song called My Tennessee on there. I think you're going to like it.
All right. There you go. Well, we're going to let you fly. Have a great day, and
Thanks
have
for
fun.
the support. Good to see y'all. Have a great weekend.
You too.
All right, take it easy. Erica Sunshine Lee, everybody. Well, we might as well play Mojito.
That's
There we
right.
go.